I understand. Destroyed is birth. The holy life has been lived. What had to be done has been done. There is no more for this state of being. And the monk said, Venerable Sir, our teachings are rooted in the Blessed One, etc. And the Buddha said, it is, monks, because he has developed and cultivated one faculty that a monk who has destroyed the asavas declares final knowledge thus. What is that one faculty? The faculty of wisdom. For a noble disciple who possesses wisdom, the faith that follows from it becomes stabilized. The energy that follows from it becomes stabilized. The mind, the recollection that follows from it becomes stabilized. The concentration that follows from it becomes stabilized. It is, monks, because this one faculty has been developed and cultivated, that a monk who has destroyed the asavas declares final knowledge thus. I understand. Destroyed is birth. The holy life has been lived. What had to be done has been done. There is no more for this state of being. So basically, this sutta says of the five faculties, wisdom is the most important. But to attain wisdom, it must be supported by the other four faculties. The faith, the energy, the recollection, and the concentration. And they grow together. When wisdom grows, the others also grow. The next sutta, quite important sutta, 48.50. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling among the Angans, where there was a town of the Angans named Apana. There the Blessed One addressed the Venerable Sariputta thus. Sariputta, does the noble disciple who is completely dedicated to the Tathagata and has full confidence in him entertain any perplexity or doubt about the Tathagata or the Tathagata's teaching? And Venerable Sariputta said, Venerable Sir, the noble disciple who is completely dedicated to the Tathagata and has full confidence in him does not entertain any perplexity or doubt about the Tathagata or the Tathagata's teaching. It is indeed to be expected, Venerable Sir, that a noble disciple who has faith will dwell with energy aroused for the abandoning of unwholesome states and the acquisition of wholesome states, that he will be strong, firm in exertion, not shirking the responsibility of cultivating wholesome states. That energy of his, Venerable Sir, is his faculty of energy. It is indeed to be expected, Venerable Sir, that a noble disciple who has faith and whose energy is aroused will be collected. Here it says mindful, but when it says mindful, it means a specific mindfulness, not general mindfulness. Possessing supreme mindfulness and discretion, one who remembers and recollects what was done and said long ago. That mindfulness of his, or that recollection of his, Venerable Sir, is his faculty of sati. Stop here for a moment. You see, whenever the Buddha describes sati, he says a person who has sati remembers and recollects what was done and said a long time ago. So sati has always to do with remembering to put your attention or your mindfulness in the right place, not out among the six sense doors, out of the six sense doors, but focus on four objects of sati. It is indeed to be expected, Venerable Sir, that a noble disciple who has faith, whose energy is aroused, and whose mindfulness or recollection is established, will gain concentration, will gain one-pointedness of mind, having made release the object. That concentration of his, Venerable Sir, is his faculty of concentration. Stop here for a moment. So here the Buddha says, when a person has faith and his energy is aroused, and then he practices sati, he will gain concentration, one-pointedness of mind. And we read in an earlier sutta that this concentration or one-pointedness of mind refers to the four jhanas. Earlier we read one sutta which explained the meaning of concentration and one-pointedness of mind. as the 4 jhanas. So when you practice sati, it must end up with the 4 jhanas. It is indeed to be expected, Venerable Sir, that a noble disciple who has faith, whose energy is aroused, whose mindfulness or recollection is established, and whose mind is concentrated, will understand thus: this samsara is without discoverable beginning. The first point is not discerned of beings roaming and wandering on, hindered by ignorance and fettered by craving, but the remainderless fading away and cessation of ignorance, the mass of darkness. This is the peaceful state, this is the sublime state, that is, the stilling of all formations or conditioners, the relinquishment of all acquisitions, the destruction of craving, dispassion, cessation, nibbana. That wisdom of his, Venerable Sir, is his faculty of wisdom. So you see from here, in this paragraph, one whose mind is concentrated will understand what needs to be understood, and he will have wisdom. That is his faculty of wisdom. In the suttas, it is mentioned like this: the condition for wisdom to arise is seeing things as they really are. Yatta bhuta jnana dassana, seeing and knowing things as they really are. And the condition for seeing things as they really are is samadhi, the jhanas. Because when you attain the jhanas, the 5 hindrances drop away. So when the 5 hindrances are eliminated, then only you can see things as they really are. Otherwise, you're like a person covered with the dark glasses. You cannot see color. And Venerable Sir, when he has again and again strived in such a way, again and again recollected in such a way, again and again concentrated his mind in such a way, again and again understood with wisdom in such a way, that noble disciple gains complete faith thus: as to these things that previously I had only heard about, now I dwell, having contacted them with the body, and having pierced them through with wisdom, I see. That faith of his, Venerable Sir, is his faculty of faith. Good Sariputta, the noble disciple who is completely dedicated to the Tathagata and has full confidence in him, does not entertain any perplexity or doubt about the Tathagata or the Tathagata's teaching. And the Buddha repeats exactly what the Venerable Sariputta said. So this sutta is saying that a person who has faith, confidence in the Buddha, has no doubt about the teaching, the Dhamma. There's one sutta where I think Majjhima Nikaya, where the Buddha made some new rules concerning food, that he wanted the monks to eat only 1 meal a day. And there were certain monks who were not happy. They said previously we ate three meals. It was good for us. Then later the Buddha said you cannot eat 3 meals, I only eat 2 meals. Now the Buddha says eat only 1 meal. And that also have to eat in the morning. He said the best meal is when people cook dinner. So he was not happy, so he refused to follow the Buddha's instructions. For the Vasa 3 months, he never saw the Buddha. And at the end of the Vasa, other monks came to advise him, told him that very soon the Buddha is going to leave. You better go and see the Buddha and apologize to the Buddha. Otherwise you regret. So he went to see the Buddha and apologized to the Buddha. And the Buddha gave him a telling off. The Buddha said, I lay down this instruction. Just a simple thing also you cannot follow. Why? Because I notice every time when I teach the Dhamma, you're not paying attention, the Buddha said. Your attention is going here, going there, and not really paying attention. So the Buddha said, you look at the other monks, it's because they pay attention to the Dhamma, to the teaching, and they understood. They have attained Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahanthood and all that. And these monks who have understood the teaching, if I ask them to do something difficult, also they will do. Not to say such a simple thing as this, the Buddha said. If I was walking, I see a lot of mud on the road, the Buddha said. I just asked one of the disciples, just lie down in the mud for me to step over to cross. They will willingly step down the mud for me to cross. But can you do it? The Buddha said, you cannot do. Why? Because you don't have the faith, you don't have that confidence, you don't have the understanding. So you see, from here, if a person understands the Dhamma, is willing to commit himself. There are some monks who go to the forest and meditate. Some of them are eaten up by tigers, some are eaten up by pythons and all that. But they are willing to lay down their life to that extent to practice the Dhamma because they have a strong faith in the Buddha's teachings. So like the Sutta says, if a person understands the Dhamma, he has confidence in the Buddha, faith in the Buddha, and there's no doubt at all. He does not entertain any doubt nor hesitation about the Buddha's teachings. So usually it's like this. Those people who find hard to do this, hard to do that, they don't have enough understanding. When they have enough understanding, then what is hard to do also they do. Hard to let go also they let go. Or those who cannot let go are those who don't understand enough. The next sutta is 48.53. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Kosambi in Gosita's park. There the Blessed One addressed the monks thus, Monks, is there a method by means of which a monk who is a trainee, standing on the plane of a trainee, might understand, I am a trainee, while a monk who has gone beyond training, standing on the plane of one beyond training, might understand, I am one beyond training. Stop here for a moment. This trainee, one who is training, refers to the 7 types of Arya. First path attainer, first fruit, second path, second fruit, third path, third fruit, and fourth path attainer. They are called trainees because they still have to train. They have not finished their work. They are called sekas, trainees. And then the one who is beyond training is called the aseka, who has no more work to do, no need to train anymore. And that refers to the fourth path attainer, fourth fruit attainer. The fourth fruit attainer is called the Arahant. It also refers to the Pacheka Buddha, it also refers to the Sammasambuddha. All of them are fourth fruit attainers. And they said, Venerable Sir, our teachings are rooted in the Blessed One, etc. And the Buddha said, there is a method, monks, by means of which a monk who is a trainee might understand, I am a trainee, while a monk who is one beyond training might understand, I am one beyond training. And what, monks, is the method by means of which a monk who is a trainee, standing on the plane of a trainee, understands, I am a trainee? Here, monks, a monk who is a trainee understands as it really is, this is suffering. He understands as it really is, this is the origin of suffering. He understands as it really is, this is the cessation of suffering. He understands as it really is, this is the way leading to the cessation of suffering. This is a method by means of which a monk who is a trainee, standing on the plane of a trainee, understands, I am a trainee. So here, Arya is one who understands the 4 noble truths. So for you to understand the 4 noble truths, that means you have right view. And right view, the Buddha says in the Majjhima Nikaya, in the Sutta Majjhima Nikaya 43, that there are only 2 conditions to attain right view. The voice of another person, that means another person teaching you the Dhamma, and you have careful attention, or proper attention. So all here is very clear. All Aryans understand the 4 noble truths. It's only the different degree. If you understand fully, you become an Arahant. If you understand partially, then you become one of the Aryans. Again, monks, a monk who is a trainee considers thus, Is there outside here another ascetic or Brahmin who teaches a Dhamma so real